Hey everybody, this is Corey, EDL 856, Module 16, Parental Apathy. I got a little picture over there in the corner I thought was kind of funny. 1960s, grades are terrible. 2010, these grades are terrible and parents are complaining, so I thought it was fitting for this case study. First of all, Category 1, Problem Identification and Analysis. What do we know? Mrs. Rose is a new AP at JFK schools. JFK appeared to have little contact with parents in the community. There was no PTA currently, but has had programs in the past for PTA. Principals very apathetic to starting a new group, thought everything in the school was great, had plenty of parent contact, community contact. Principal thought that no one wanted to be involved, so he just kind of swept it under the rug. What do we know continued? Mrs. Rose sat back and waited and then brought up the subject again about starting a parent organization. The principal finally agreed to the meeting but did not want a parent group, only an advisory group of parents. Sent out an invite to parent meeting with students on a Friday afternoon, and only 8 parents showed up, and the principal wanted to cancel the meeting because of lack of parental involvement. So, what do we need to know? Number 1, why is the principal opposed to a parent organization? It's evident while reading the case that he doesn't want any part of it. We need to figure out why. Why does he not want to spend time developing relationships with those parents? He acts like everything's a bed of roses, but since there's no parents involved in anything, it's obviously not working out. And number 3, why is he apathetic to Mrs. Rose, wanting to improve parent relationships? He doesn't seem to support her idea at all, and that's something that we need to know about. So, I think that there's 3 main problems in this case. Number 1 is the attitude of the principal having a parent group. That's not a good thing. If he has an attitude towards a parent group, something's obviously not going good there. Number 2 is his lack of support from Mrs. Rose. Obviously, he told her that he wasn't real interested in having parents, and he always tried to sidestep the question. Basically, it sounds to me like he just didn't want more work to do, so he kind of just wanted to ignore the situation completely. And number 3, his unwillingness to try getting a parent group going in the school. Like I said before, it's all tied together, but his attitude, his unwillingness to do it, and his lack of support are some major problems. Especially as a leader of a school, you have to have those things in order to be successful. Plan and strategies to implement. Number 1, I think Mrs. Rose should tell the principal that she'll oversee the parent group. I know that kind of steps behind his back, but at the same time, if it's just because he doesn't really want to have to do more work or be involved with it, she's actually just taking a leadership role, so it's not that big of a deal. Second thing is meet with him monthly to discuss how parent meetings are going, and hopefully get some excitement going, get the ball rolling, and bring him in, and hopefully he'll get interested and come around to the idea of having a parent group in the school. And number 3, empower the parent group to function as an integral part of the school. Parent groups can be very, very successful or not very successful. I think a lot of it has to do with how they're empowered, just as it is with any other group for any other organization. How to promote success for all students. Resolving the issues based on success of all students. Number 1, by taking the leadership of the parent group, Mrs. Rose is ensuring a voice for them in what happens in the school with all students. If some parents want to be involved, that's great. Hopefully they'll get others on board and involved as well. But you have to have ones that do want a voice, you have to give them that voice. Number 2, by meeting with the principal monthly, I'm fostering a relationship with him, helping us to build a strong school moving forward. Number 3, by empowering the parents, all the students will benefit from the collaboration and relationships going on in the school. Not only from administration to parents, parents to students, vice versa. So it's anytime you can meet together, collaborate, and talk about things in the school to help the school succeed, you're going to be better off. Category 4, debrief the problem by reflecting on what you were thinking, feeling, and valuing. The number one thing that I was thinking was, how can I build a parent organization without tearing down my relationship with the principal? And I thought the best way to do that is to take a leadership role and hopefully get things going. He wasn't completely opposed to the idea of having one, but it sounded like he just really didn't want to be involved in it. So by taking a leadership role, that's something that Miss Rose, I think, could do a very good job getting going. Feeling, I was feeling, what is the best way to accomplish collaboration and community involvement? Obviously, parents are a huge part of schools, indirectly or directly. So if you can get them to be involved and collaborate with you, that's going to help you in the long run. Valuing, the thing that I was valuing is what is best for the students in regards to the parents being involved in their education. Obviously, as an educational leader, our job is to hopefully have parents involved in their children. The more parental involvement we have, the easier our job will be. 3 unresolved issues in the case. Number 1 is, will the principal ever get on board and support the parent organization? We can do all we can to get it going and hopefully work with it, but ultimately it's going to be up to him whether or not he decides that he wants to support something like that. Number 2, why is he so apprehensive about having a formal PTA or PTO? It sounds like he's okay to the idea of having a group of parents be involved, but he doesn't want them to have any role in deciding what goes on in the school. It kind of seems like it's a power struggle thing to me. And number 3, will the parents become active and help guide the decisions of the parent organization? None of what happens with the principal or anything else matter if the parents don't decide that they want to get involved. It may start with 8, as it said in the thing, and if 8 parents get involved and more can get involved after that, that's great. But you got to start somewhere. How did you promote the academic success of every student? Number 1, by leading an initiative to involve parents in their students' education. Number 2, by fostering relationships with my principal so that we can lead the school to a successful outcome. And number 3, by empowering a group of parents to have a say in their children's education. Anytime you can do all those things, you're doing a good job. How did you promote the personal well-being of every student? By working to involve the community in their learning, by letting the principal know that parents are an important part of a school and they can help all students be successful. And number 3, by understanding that involved parents do make a difference. Not just for their child, but they do help out with other kids as well. Finally, how did you promote the communities of engagement? Number 1, by showing a knowledge that community is important and not giving up. Mrs. Rose did a great job of not giving up on her idea to involve the parents in the school in some way. That's awesome, because whenever you get into situations like that, you have to be able to do those kind of things. Sometimes it's hard, but you can't quit. Number 2, by working together with a principal that was not on board to ensure families were at least given a chance to be involved. As I said before, you have to give those parents an opportunity, even if it's just a couple of them. If you can get them empowered and get them going, good things are going to happen. And that leads to number 3, by hopefully empowering parents to get involved to engage in their child's learning. So anytime you can get the community, parents involved, you're going to have an excellent chance of reaching kids and having kids become successful. And those are all great things. And hopefully all of that leads to the road to success. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.